Well, okay, everybody, here we are again. You, me, I love this part. Monday, August 8th, 2022, my post-market wrap-up. You know, there comes a time in everyone's life, I think, when you really do believe that you've heard it all. That has happened to me many times in my life. How old am I now? I think I'm 50 freaking 7. Okay. Yeah. 57. But today really might take the cake here. I'm sitting here like you. Well, some of you at least. And I'm flipping around, CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business, blah, blah, freaking blah. And you got the propaganda ministry seems like they're all on board with this Inflation Reduction Act. Let me ask you this. Maybe you can explain this to me because I just don't get it. So what we got out of this so far is about $400 billion. This is what this is going to cost, the Inflation Reduction Act. And everyone's all gleeful and happy. In fact, some people are freaking outright orgasmic over it. Well, let me ask you, if spending nearly 400 billion is going to reduce inflation, why don't we just make it, I don't know, 5 trillion? We could obviously make inflation zero at that point. Here's my question. Just like you can't borrow cash into prosperity, you cannot borrow your way into prosperity. You can't buy your way into reducing inflation. It can't possibly happen. But again, this is what you have been told by me for many, many years. You can't make this shit up. It's impossible to freaking do. But that's what they're doing. And it's being spread everywhere by the mainstream propaganda. Oh, yes. Oh, we're going to spend $400 billion and that's going to reduce inflation. I can't wait. Now, let me explain this to you in case you don't already know. There's no way on earth that this is going to work. You're going to see inflation skyrocket faster. Who believes out here? There's probably one person. I mean, out of the tens of thousands of people that watch these video blogs. There's got to be one of you who actually believes in their heart of hearts that we can spend our way into lower inflation. Do you believe that's true? Well, if you do, well, how about this one? We just found out that our illustrious, very nice President Biden, he's sending another $4.5 billion to Ukraine for military aid. That brings the total up that they're letting us know about to $8.5 billion. I guess that's going to lower inflation too. Oh, I see. Can't make this stuff up. It's impossible to do. Here's something else here. So the mainstream propaganda freak shows, they're trying to say food inflation is about 9%. Does that ring true to you? I shop just like you do. I would say it's more like 90%. Do you think it's more like... All right, here's the question, the first question here. Well, maybe this is the second one, because the first one is, do you believe that we can buy our way into lower inflation, just like we can, borrow our way into prosperity, right? That clue me in on that. Now, next question. Isn't food inflation more like 9% or like 90%? Because you see, they're trying to tell you, imagine my shock here, food inflation is just around maybe just a little over 9%, Somehow I don't think that's right. But what else would you expect in this freak show? It's a freak show of freaking freak shows. Anyway, what else do we got going on here? I was just writing a few things down. I wanted to bring something else to your attention. And I think most of you probably get this. Okay, so what's going on? We're marching towards, these midterm things. So literally prior to every single midterm election cycle, you see one thing happen. That is the price of crude oil kind of come down. It's a phenomenon, you see, because they want people to see some relief at the pump. So they think the current administration is really working for them. So honestly, look, so we're seeing the usual phenomenon. Although crude oil WTI is still over $90 a barrel. And you can imagine what's going to happen right after the midterms. 125, 135. But it's just the game they play. You see, people are used as a means to an end. They're puppetized. They're turned into little puppets. And they're made to believe things that are just in no way possible true. Like spending $400 billion or nearly $400 billion is going to somehow lower inflation. I say, let's spend $100 trillion then we could bring it down to zero. Imagine if that could actually happen. Now, the biggest lie, that is being sold right now is there's two things. You can't borrow your way into prosperity. With our national debt here over $30 trillion, up 20% in just the last 2 years. Our illustrious, very nice president said he was going to pay down that debt. Well, imagine that lie. Is he going to be held to account for it? How about no? Oh, no, absolutely not. People are just going to cheer him on. Whenever I talk bad, this is the truth, about President Frankenstein, Bidenstein, Mummy Man, I get a lot of hate email. Greg, you don't know what you're talking about. He really cares about this country. He really does. Yeah, he has a big fan club, just like Bill Gates. If I talk bad about Bill Hates, Billy Goats, whatever the freak his name is, I get all kinds of hate mail from that too. Death threats, you name it. You know, a week doesn't go by. There's not 1 week that doesn't go by in my life where I don't get a death threat or two. It's true. What can I tell you? All right. Now, with that said, let's look over here at the market. So we finished mixed today. Actually, we were off to the races earlier. The Dow at one point was up over 300 points. We finished slightly to the positive with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. We finished slightly in the negative with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. 10-year yield came down a little bit, 2.76. You see what the market is doing. See, the market is sending a signal here. Make sure you keep that 10-year yield suppressed. If you do that, well, you're going to see more cash make its way into the stock market, which is going to go much higher in that case. That's the game that is played. You see, you have to understand the language here. Investors, they want to put money in this market. Where else you want to put it to work? Obviously, you should be betting against the debt, becoming your own central bank. I believe you should have some cryptocurrency in your portfolio. I have not yet added Bitcoin again to mine. I'm waiting another couple of weeks to see if we stay above 21,000. Then I'm going to start buying. I will let you know. I promise. If you subscribe to my newsletter, link in the description of this video. Free to everybody. You too. If you haven't subscribed, you're going to know exactly what I'm doing when I am doing it. By the way, today I did buy more. JEPI. Ticker JEPI. I really like this. I like the dividend. It's a built-in hedge. The dividend that they pay every single month. I really do like it. And the other thing about it that I like is the way the fund is structured, how they invest in various companies here, and they're selling puts to generate that income here. It's what I used to do, but simplified, because now someone else is doing it for me. Love it. I love when life gets simple and easy. So anyway, that's what's going on here. Market is sending a signal to the Fed, keep that 10-year yield suppressed, and the market will go up. Silver took off today. Did very, very well. Gold did well today. Cryptocurrencies, going back to that real quick, Bitcoin around 24,000. Crude oil, I told you about, a gain of about 1.5% today. That's the story. That's where we stand today in this lovely, lovely, upside-down, twisted environment where you can't possibly make anything up anymore. The truth is stranger than fiction. When you have our politicians out here smiling from ear to ear about spending another nearly $400 billion and telling you that by spending this money, they're going to lower inflation. You know that they believe that every citizen in the United States is an imbecile of the highest possible order. And you can't do a damn thing about it. Do you think that you can stop President Biden from sending another $4.5 billion over to Ukraine to buy more weapons? No, you can't stop that. Do you think your vote counts anymore? Do you think anything matters anymore? No. How many years has I been telling you? It's every man and every woman for themselves here. Although we have each other and we got to cover each other's backs. I think you all know that at least by now. Anyway, look, that's the story. That's where we stand. And I really want to hear from you. What do you think? Is it possible? Is it possible that you could spend your way into lower inflation? Can I get a duh? Duh, no. Duh. No, can't happen. But they're going to sell you that one. Oh, and if you think they're done, there's going to be a lot more. Because they have to. That's the nature of the beast. You see, you're not allowed to know that none of the truth behind all of this is it's a mechanism to pull cash out of the future into the now. Because they all know, all of our illustrious, imbecile, moron, loving, caring representatives, they understand the system. They know how it works. It demands debt be borrowed into existence in perpetuity, in greater and greater amounts just to sustain the now. It can't stop, ever. Otherwise, we implode. No one is going to let this implode. This guy's not going to let it implode. Trump wouldn't let it implode. Obama wouldn't let it implode. Bush, everybody, they all know how it works. But they won't tell you how it works. Okay? But you know because you follow this blog. People, this guy here loves you a lot, and I mean that from the heart. Please watch out for the scammers using my picture, WhatsApp, text me, blah, blah, blah. It's all more lies. Okay, what else would you expect? I'm doing my best to get rid of these things, and I'm calling on my moderators here to help me with this. It's getting overwhelming. See you in the morning, I promise. And, well, that's all.